Matthew's, the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 12, and it reads to the Holy Scriptures, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakal and the Heavenly Father. True name is Yahweh. And his unbegotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach Kappashai. Those are the true names in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. The Lashwan Kadash's tongue, Barak Thumb to the elders and apostles, Akim, Akwa, when I say Shalom. And this is another sit-down lesson that I want to bring out of Matthew's 24, verse 12. That's the title of the sit-down lesson, so hopefully this will be edifying. And this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 12, and it reads, this is the Gospel of Matthew's 24, verse 12, and Yahushua speaking through the Gospel of Matthew's 24, verse 12, and it reads, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Right? And that's what we see in these modern day times. And just like Yahushua spoke about during his times, lawlessness, iniquities, and judgment was taking place in his times. Perilous times was taking place in his times. Now it's happening once again, especially in these times at a alarming rate. So iniquity, lawlessness are increasing. So we're definitely going to see iniquity, and which is lawlessness. Iniquity is going to abound now so more than ever, because the love of many shall wax cold. And as we see in our world today, the love of many is waxing cold. And especially over here in North America, we're seeing so much judgments, lawlessness, iniquities, and the love of many people having waxing cold towards one another. And that's what we've been seeing as of lately. Especially so far this summer of 2025, we've been seeing definitely the love of many are waxing cold, lawlessness, iniquity. So we're seeing tensions between the nations, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, nation within itself being divided, outside of the nation being divided, kingdoms being divided, a kingdom within itself being divided, and then kingdoms outside of another kingdom being divided. That's what we're seeing. So we're definitely going to see more lawlessness and iniquity going to abound, because the love people used to have towards one another is starting to rise cold. We're starting to see that on an everyday basis. It says because iniquity should abound, the love of many shall rise cold. So we're definitely going to see that ramping up more and more in these other times. So I'm going to look up the definition. This is go to the etymology for edification. Yeah, this is the definition of iniquity is a noun from the etymology. C13, hostility. Yeah, hostility, action, wickedness. Right, so hostility, action, wickedness. So we're going to see that more a lot of these times. So iniquity, hostility, and wickedness. So that goes into iniquity, which is wickedness, and hostility, action, hostility. So we're going to see that a lot of these times. Yep. Accusation of many of evil and wickedness. Yep, the accusation of many of wickedness. So we're definitely going to see that a lot of these times. Bring up that 1 John 3 verse 4. It's the book of 1 John chapter 3 verse 4. Because it said, whosoever committed sin also transgress law, for sin is the transgression law. So we're going to be seeing iniquity, evil, wickedness, and sin is going to abound. So we're definitely going to be seeing that more and more in these times. So it's going to be a lot of lawlessness in our world today, especially over here in America, North America. And we're seeing that around the world as well too. But definitely particularly here in North America. So lawlessness and iniquity is going to abound, because iniquity should abound, love of many shall wax cold. Yep, it says that for whosoever committed sin also transgress the law. For sin is transgressing law. So all of this iniquity and the love of many are waxing cold going to continue to increase on an everyday basis. And this is the book of 2 Timothy. And this is from the Apostle Paul through Timothy, as he wrote in 2 Timothy 3 and verse 1, it says that this know also in the last days perilous times shall come. Once we're living in those modern day last days, just like it was last days in the ancient times. Now we're living in modern days of the last days of the signs of time. Yep, it says this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Right, so look at the etymology of perilous. So yeah, so we definitely in those times it's only going to continue to increase. Yep, it's an adjective of perilous from the etymology. C 1300 for of danger. Yep, for risk of danger. That's what it's. That's the definition of perilous, which is danger, for risk of danger. Yep, yep. So once again, Second Timothy's chapter 3, verse 1. We begin for edification's sake. It says, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come." Right. So as I mentioned once again, this is wrote from the Apostle Paul through Timothy's, as he wrote about that. It's like that was happening in their times. Now it's happening once again in these modern times. So once again, there's no new thing under the sun, like it says in Ecclesiastes 1 verse 9. And this is the book of Matthew that I'm closing out. That book of Matthew 24. Because these were the signs that Yahushua spoke about before he makes his return. Birth pains on the planet Earth. Because these just the beginning of sorrows, like it says in the book of Matthew 24 verse 8. So we definitely understand the love of many unwise and cold, lawlessness, iniquity, and perilous times. So that's all about to increase. Yeah, Matthew 24 and verse 12, because iniquity should abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Right, so the love people used to have towards one another is starting to wax cold. We starting to see that on a everyday basis. Now, don't get me wrong. We still got, man, don't get me wrong, you still got a lot of people that still love each other in society, in today's society. No doubt about it, because everything is a balance inside everybody out. But there's going to be many times where the love of many are just going to wax cold. And we see that increasing, ramping up, lawlessness, iniquities ramping up on an everyday basis. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying of Matthew 24 verse 12. And that was the title of the sit-down lesson. So hopefully this was edifying. And with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, or Kadash, and the Heavenly Father. The true name is Yahweh, and His own begotten Son, Bahashem, in the name of Hamashiach Abishai. Those are the true names of the ancient Pelican Hebrew, Kadash, one Kadash of the tongue. And I say Barakathan to the elders and apostles, while I came to next time, say Shalom.